What is going on, everybody? So we are back from KJam SoCal. And KJam SoCal was awesome. We're going to do a little bit different this year because I rarely get to hear anything or listen or even form an opinion on things at KJams anymore. And that's great because it allows me to kind of roam around, talk to people, help them out, just do the things that are fun for me. So this is different because a lot of the stuff, especially a lot of the heavy hitters, I was able to bring with me and really sit and listen. And for the first time, we're going to be reviewing it all. So we've got some heavy hitters, some awesome ones. One that I'm most excited about and one that's hugely anticipated, the first batch have started going out, is this one I Am. We have been blessed on this channel through friends and things like that, where we've listened to, and I'm going to leave some out because I probably can't remember them all though. Actually, I purchased a Pilgrim Noir. We have Annie 23, Dio. We've done the X, and I'm leaving one out. It's a pretty blue one. But anyway, we've pretty much gone through all of Lee's stuff. And I've always said, I love KJams not only because it allows you to listen to things. When you walk in there, you can just listen to what you want to, make a list, and it better helps you decide without having to spend money and going, oh, I don't like this. But my favorite part for me is to be able to talk to people. And this was Lee, who, as we know, is one of the best tuners, who was formerly with the Legion, is now with Mysticraft. It allowed me, and it was his first time in the United States, it allowed me to spend roughly about an hour talking with him, getting to know him, learning his philosophy. And that was great because I was allowed to do something that I've always wanted to do with a tuner. He handed me his DAP, and I got to see all the music that he listens to. And what blew my mind was the amount of music from all over the world, different genres. And that's just so mind-blowingly awesome because you would want someone who is tuning IMs to listen to various types of music and music from all over the world because their products going all over the world. So it was just really cool to be able to spend some time and talk with one of the best creators. And our huge friend of the channel, Timeslip, has allowed us to do this review today. So today's review is going to be on the Mysticcraft Hex. The Mysticraft Hex. Hex stemming from that it is a hex brid. It is the world's first hex brid, which means it's got 6 different driver types within the shell. It's got a 9.2 Mystic LSR dynamic driver, 2 Sonya and bone conducting drivers, 5 balanced armature drivers, 2 planar magnetic drivers, 2 electrostatic drivers, and 1 piezoelectric driver. The retail price for the Hex is $8,999. Alright, so since we don't have the unboxing experience, let's take a closer look at the Mysticraft Hex. As you can see, the first batch are the only ones, and this is a first batch. Thank you for Timeslip for letting me use these. The first batch is the only one that has diamonds. So you'll have the diamond M on this side, and then you'll have the individual diamonds here. And it looks pretty snazzy. Now, a funny thing that I brought up, actually Lee brought up to me, was that in the price point these are, they have to be as beautiful as fine jewelry. And our Todd and I were sitting there at KJam looking inside. And looking inside, you cannot see a spare wire. You see the quality and the build, and it's actually really fascinating just looking at the insides and seeing how all this works. So it's pretty cool. Very clean, very well constructed, very beautiful. Like a fine piece of jewelry, in a sense, that plays music. So this is the wire that comes with it. Pull it out a little bit so we can see it. There's termination. This is V-cut, and then here. So when you compare, it actually matches pretty well. It looks very nice. Again, something you would expect from something that costs this much. So yeah, there you have it. That is a closer look at the Mysticcraft Hex. Alright, you know how we do, fit and finish. In the previous segment, I talked about the amazing quality of these, but I'll show them off again. This is, as it should be, an absolutely stunning IEM. Show off the other faceplate. There we go. The diamonds in them from the first batch, and then the internals. It is a, I would say, large IEM, but very comfortable. It's not heavy at all. So, have not had any issues as far as getting them in, them staying in and being comfortable and being able to listen to them for a long amount of time. So I shut off the cable. The cable's not too heavy. It's a comfortable cable. Maybe just a little bit too rubbery feeling for me, but you can see the quality in the cable. It's just the texture. Sometimes I'm a little weird about textures, and the texture kind of is goofy for me a little bit, but other than that, it's a great cable. I haven't had any issues with it. So fit and finish, as I would expect for a 9K IEM, is very darn good. All right, so let's talk about sound. I feel like if you're going to hit the world with a $9,000 IEM, it better look the part and it better sound the part. It better be something different, not a tuning that we're used to, something special, not an improvement on something. And we've already talked about the looks factor. The looks factor, it nails, you know? It really is a brilliant looking IEM, in my opinion. I think just down to the last minute detail, it's awesome. When it comes to sound, I feel like he's also nailed it too, because it is a very unique sound. It's a sound that we've heard before, but not done this way, and not done so brilliantly. So, what I'm trying to describe, we'll talk about kind of like the bass sound. So, you've got this killer hitting mid bass, and you've got this deep rumbly sub bass, right? And it's very prominent. Then you get to the mids, and they're warm, and as my buddy AAF EVO likes to say, it's rich. So we're talking about this nice thickness to the mids. But this is where it takes it to a whole nother level, because we've had IEMs like that with Mentor or XE6, and there seems to be kind of a limit to the resolution and the dynamics and things like that because of this thick, rich sound. Well, Lee says, hold my beer, and you've got this huge, expansive soundstage, and it's very deep. You have the resolution and details that you would expect from all the top dogs, and it matches them. It's incredible. It really, truly matches them. So you've got these beautiful, glorious mids that somehow seem impossible, but they're there. And when I talk about the bass being very prominent, it doesn't affect the mids at all. It's just this enveloping sound, and you feel the bass, but it's not muddy in a sense. It's not too dark, because let's get to the treble. I was listening to Manu Katchoo, and Manu Katchoo is a French drummer, and his cymbal play is awesome. And if you've ever seen his drum kits, they have like so many various different types of cymbals that make different sounds. They're very unique, right? And with the Hex treble, you have the extension, you've got the detail. Like I know a few of my friends feel like it has the best Lee treble, but it might have some of the best treble you'll ever hear. So, going back to like XE6 and Mentor, where I feel like it's got peekaboo treble coming in, the treble is very prominent, there's air to this sound, so in totality, it's like this brand new type of sound that shouldn't be possible, but it is because of the tuning. The tuning is so great. So, you have this, and you have to sit there and think, well, is it going to work with most of my stuff? And it does. It's just weird how it does. Like, there wasn't much brain burn in. Like, the first thing I noticed, like, when I put on some Billie Eilish, was just the mid bass kick. Like, this thing can kick with the mid bass. But then when the sub bass comes in, it can rumble. Her voice sounds great. There's just layer upon layer of sound. Very dark, very dark. So you don't have any kind of extra sound. It's just voices, instruments, things like this just come in and out just naturally, like they appear. But it's not incohesive where you're just like sitting there going, well, that's not supposed to be there. No, it's a very cohesive sound. It's great. And just back to the treble, like going to Polyphia, playing God is a lot of fun. It's just, you've got that bass kick, the guitars sound brilliant. They're out here as opposed to being closed in. They're playing, floating brilliantly, and then the cymbals sound so natural and extended, have good splash. Like, it's just a crazy warm IEM that just sounds brilliant. If you are into piano, there's a lushness that it brings to the piano that's just awesome. We have a new one coming from Bill Lawrence, and a couple of the tracks have already dropped. I think one's called Sarah. And it's just, there's a fullness and body to the sound of Hex. That's just, it's awesome. Now, again, is it a warmer type sound? Yes. A warmer type sound signature might not fit with some people, but it's definitely one, if you're not into a warmer sound, to check out because it's the best warm sounding IM out there. It's just, it does everything. Like the dynamics are there, the resolution is there. It's just, it's brilliant. And I tried different types of music with it. From Go-Go Penguin, Billie Eilish. What I really liked was You Belong to Me, both the Carly Simon and the Doobie Brothers version. Went to some R&B music, Brian McKnight, so male and female vocals sound great on this. But what I really liked was Roberta Flack strumming my pain with his fingers, Killing Me Softly. I don't know what it was, like that genre of music, like 60s and 70s. Oh, You Make Me Feel Like a Brand New Woman. Can't think of her name right now. But like that type of music just kind of encompassed it. And it kind of reminded me a lot of Trifecta in a sense where the sound that was coming from Hex sounded like what I grew up with in the late 70s, early 80s with, as opposed to like the 2-channel stereo speakers and the warmness that they had. But because they were speakers, they also had the detail. So Hex is just a really, really great IM. And for it to be his first one out of the chute from Mysticraft, and $9K is a lot of money, it had to be special. Like, it had to be a very special IM. And I think when you put all the factors together with the build and with the sound, he nailed that price point. And he nailed something very unique and very different and very special. All right, so is the Mysticraft Hex a buy? Again, this is a Summit Fi IM. This is a very expensive IM. But when you look at, I guess, at that price point and the value proposition, it nails it when it comes to build, the look, and how it sounds. But not many people can afford that. But there are enough people out there that collect Summit Fis, listen to music, enjoy it, and have the budget to go ahead and purchase this. And if you can, then this would be a definite yes. Because I think it brings a very unique sound to the forefront that is unique and just awesome. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to ask, and I'll see you in the next video.